If you crave the unknown, but fear the dark, then Delphi. After dawn is your sanctuary. As the first light of dawn breaks through the night, we embark on a journey into the mysteries that chill the spine. I'm your host, Jason King, and together, we'll explore the stories that lurk in the shadows. Each episode, we unravel chilling tales of unsolved crimes, police corruption, and heart-wrenching disappearances. Imagine a world where over 600,000 people vanished last year alone in the U.S., leaving behind only questions and heartache. Violent crime is on the rise, and the shadows grow longer each day. By joining us, you become a beacon for the voiceless, a light in the darkness. Together, we'll shine a light on society's darkest corners, uncovering the truths that hide in plain sight. From the eerie silence of abandoned buildings to the bustling streets where secrets are whispered, we leave no stone unturned. Tune in to Delphi After Dawn, where understanding is just a story away. Join us and let the journey begin. As we delve deeper, remember that every story has a heartbeat, a pulse that connects us all. We navigate through the labyrinth of human experience, seeking answers and shedding light on the unknown. So prepare yourself for a journey like no other, where every revelation brings us closer to the truth. Delphi. After Dawn is more than just a podcast. It's a community of seekers, united by curiosity and compassion. Together, we can make a difference, one story at a time. Join us and let the journey begin anew. In the shadows of the city, where secrets are commodities and trust is a luxury, one man delves into the minds of the monstrous. Welcome to the world of Jason King, a detective with a mind as sharp as a scalpel and a heart as resilient as steel. Beneath the ordinary scenes of daily life, grim tales of notorious serial killers lurk. Each one, unique in their madness, leaves behind a chilling legacy of victims and unsolvable puzzles. But the twisted minds of these murderers never elude Jason King. With every episode, the stakes rise. Every grim detail, each hideous crime, King peels back layer by layer. In a world where evil is the norm and horror is the narrative, Jason King remains steadfast. His mission? To uncover the dark consciousness of terror. His promise? Justice. This is Jason King's world, where crime is not just confronted, but comprehended. Dive deep into the chilling tales of serial killers with Jason King. This video is for educational entertainment and documentary purposes. Viewer discretion is highly advised. Hey guys, I can't even begin to describe how this case has haunted me since day one. The Delphi Murders. I mean, it's a case that's left an entire nation reeling. Two young girls, Abby Williams and Libby German, went for a hike on February 13th, 2017, and never came home. What happened that day on the Monon High Bridge Trail would spark one of the most intense investigations in Indiana's history. So, let's dive right in and unravel this heartbreaking mystery together. Okay, so it's an unseasonably warm February day in Delphi, Indiana. Abby and Libby, best friends and 8th graders, decide to take advantage of their day off school. They head to the Monon High Bridge Trail, a popular spot for locals. At 2:07 p.m., Libby posts a Snapchat photo of Abby walking on the bridge. It's the last time anyone would see them alive. Shortly after, Libby manages to capture a video on her phone, a man walking towards them on the bridge, and a male voice saying, "Guys, down the hill." I mean, can you imagine how terrifying that must have been? By 5:30 p.m., when the girls fail to meet their ride home, they're reported missing. And just like that, a normal day turns into a nightmare. Now, let me tell you about small towns like Delphi. Everyone knows everyone. So when Abby and Libby went missing, the whole community sprang into action. Search parties combed the woods late into the night, hoping against hope that the girls were just lost. But deep down, I think everyone feared the worst. And then on February 14th, Valentine's Day of all days, their worst fears were confirmed. The girls' bodies were found about half a mile from the bridge on private property belonging to a guy named Ron Logan. The police were tight-lipped about the details, but they described the crime scene as brutal and staged. I mean, can you even imagine what those poor families went through? One day your kid is there, and the next, it's just heartbreaking, you know? So, the investigation kicks into high gear. I'm talking FBI, state police, local law enforcement. Everyone's working around the clock to solve this case. They released that grainy video from Libby's phone, showing the man on the bridge. It's not much to go on, but it's something. And let me tell you, that audio clip of the man saying, "Guys, down the hill," is bone-chilling. It's like, this is the voice of a killer, you know? The thing is, despite all this evidence, despite the national attention this case was given, years go by, and there are no arrests. Can you believe that? It's like this guy just vanished into thin air. The community is on edge. Parents are terrified to let their kids out of their sight. And all the while, Abby and Libby's families, are left waiting for answers. So over the years, several persons of interest pop up. First, there's this guy, Daniel Nations. He gets arrested in Colorado for threatening hikers with a hatchet. People start freaking out because he kind of looks like the bridge guy from the video. But after investigating, they rule him out. Then there's this whole thing with Keegan Kline and his Anthony Shots catfishing profile. Turns out he was talking to Libby the night before the murders. I mean, talk about a red flag. But even he isn't charged with the murders. It's like every time there's a glimmer of hope, it just fizzles out. So, fast forward to October 2022. Out of nowhere, this local guy named Richard Allen gets arrested and charged with the murders. And I'm talking about a real local. This guy worked at the CVS in Delphi. People probably saw him every day, never suspecting a thing. It's crazy, right? The evidence they have against him is pretty compelling. There's this .40 caliber bullet found near the victims that's linked to Allen's gun. They've got surveillance footage and witnesses placing him at the scene. But Here's the kicker. Alan apparently confessed 63 times to both law enforcement and his wife. I mean, can you imagine being his wife and hearing that? Your husband, the father of your children, confessing to this horrific crime. It's like something out of a nightmare. Okay, so we're in October 2024 now. Richard Allen's trial finally begins. And let me tell you, it's intense. The prosecutors play the full video and audio recording from Libby's phone. Can you imagine being in that courtroom, hearing that poor girl's last moments? It must have been gut-wrenching. They present all this evidence. The bullet, the confessions, everything. It's like, how could anyone doubt this guy's guilt? But, of course, the defense tries to poke holes in the case. They argue that Allen's confessions aren't reliable because of his mental state in solitary confinement. It's like, come on, really? After everything? They're trying to say he just made it all up? I mean, one false confession I might believe, but 63 false confessions is just unheard of. The trial goes on for weeks, and the whole country is watching. So, after 19 hours of deliberation, can you believe it took that long? The jury comes back with a verdict. Guilty on all charges. Richard Allen is sentenced to 130 years in prison. It's like this collective sigh of relief goes through the whole country. Finally, after all these years, Abby and Libby's families have some closure. It feels like justice, you know? But just when you think it's all over, boom, another twist. These documents come out suggesting that Ron Logan, the guy who owned the property where the bodies were found, might have confessed to a fellow inmate before he died. I mean, what? It's like, are you kidding me? After everything, now this comes out? It's enough to make your head explode. But guess what? New information has just been released by Indiana State Police investigators. Remember the guy that came forward that was locked up with Ron Logan, that said that Ron Logan confessed to him that he killed Abby and Libby? Well, Indiana State Police gave that guy a lie detector test. And guess what? The results was, that's right, you guessed it, he failed miserably. So, it's obvious that he is just another con man that made up a fake story to try to get his sentence reduced. That way, he could get out of prison early. So, here we are, years after those two innocent girls lost their lives. And we're still left with questions. Did Richard Allen act alone? Was Ron Logan involved somehow? Will we ever know the full truth? It's like, even with a conviction, this case refuses to give us clear-cut answers. And you know what? Maybe that's why it continues to fascinate and horrify us in equal measure. Stay safe out there, guys. And remember, for Abby and Libby, and for all victims of violent crime, we must never stop seeking the truth. As we wrap up this deep dive into the Delphi Murders, I can't help but think about Abby and Libby. Two young lives cut short. Two families forever changed. This case has left an indelible mark on all of us. It's a stark reminder. It's a stark reminder of the evil that exists in this world, but also of the resilience of a community and the relentless pursuit of justice. Stay safe out there, guys. And remember, for Abby and Libby, and for all victims of violent crime, we must never stop seeking the truth. In a shadowy underworld of crime, where the ordinary meets the extraordinary, you've been journeying with me, Jason King. We've dissected the minds of some of the most notorious serial killers, peeling back the layers of their darkest secrets. Every shadowy corner we've turned, every chilling confession we've analyzed, has been a step deeper into the abyss. But remember, the abyss also gazes back. So, brace yourself as we prepare to dive even deeper. Next time, we'll unravel a tale so twisted it will make your spine tingle with anticipation. An enigma so intricate it will have you questioning everything you thought you knew. Until then, keep your eyes open and your mind sharp. This is Jason King, signing off.